Hey everyone, it's Jen Sofa. It's Zach here with Chris.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Chilling.
Yeah. So today we got our good friend Billy as a guest. It's been a while since we've seen Billy.
Baby Billington.
Billy Billington less than Zane. But as
Equal
you
to.
say to that, you possibly think he's equal. But it's been a while. He joins us today for this episode. It's actually going to be a first part of a two-parter. And we're going to discuss his favorite show, which is South Park.
South Park.
So, without further ado, let's just get into it.
All right, guys, here we are again. We actually have Billy in the building.
Billy.
Billy in the building.
Billy.
I'd say
Guys.
Billy equal to Zane.
Has he reached that status yet? Is he?
I believe so.
Oh, you
Yeah.
I think I've heard
I've been
it before
saying it
from you.
since
you believe so?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what's your case?
When you said it.
Ah.
It has been said before.
You're the authority figure on
Yeah.
on
Billy
equal to
Zanian
Zane.
qualities.
Hmm.
Well, today I noticed that Billy, you brought us a drink. We're not making you a drink.
We did. Yes,
Yeah.
actually.
So,
Bartender Carlita's in the building as well.
yeah,
And
she's somewhere here. I can't.
yeah,
I don't
she's
know
somewhere. Where is she? Oh, hey, honey.
Hello. She's back there somewhere. What we do now, I don't know if we did this last time you were here because it was like November-ish when you were here. It's a long time ago. We're now trying, or I don't know if you caught up the date on the episodes, but we try the drinks and like right as on screen, not on
Yeah.
screen, but on mic.
Get
Okay.
your initial reaction.
The initial
Oh, I see.
reaction
Gotcha.
and stuff like that. That's why I didn't try any of it yet because I think it's kind of more of it's funner. It's like an initial, you might get that pucker face. You might get that like,
Of course.
So if you guys would like to imbibe,
Yeah.
I will as well.
Okay.
Oh.
But
Sounds great.
and then we'll talk about
And
it.
then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. First reaction is it's orange. It smells orangey. Now, do you smell food before you eat it? We
I
talked
do.
about this the other
Yes,
day.
I like to incorporate multiple senses when I eat or drink.
You're right there, Chris.
Yeah.
A little spillage.
Well, the
Is it orange?
rim. What do you call it? What? That's not a garnish. It's
That's a rim.
Oh, it's
Just-
a rim.
yeah,
It's
it's
a
just
chocolate rim, if you know.
Chocolate
what I'm saying.
rim. there we
because
go.
it's
my favorite
It's
kind
well
of rim.
crumbled, but because it's crumbled,
Mhm.
you know, like
Mm.
you take like a couple. Yeah,
Kind of.
it can fall off on you.
I got chocolate on my pants.
You did allude to this. It is orange. Billy, do you want to tell us why?
Absolutely.
It's orange?
Well, as we're been discussing about
Doo-doo stain on my... I'll just vacuum after this. No dogs allowed. Sorry. Go ahead, Billy.
our drink is titled, coined to one of my favorite cartoon shows, South Park. It's "Oh My God, You Drank Kenny."
You drink. That sounds a bit
Yes.
Yeah.
sexual.
So we got the. I can break it down first. I'll break down the ingredients
break it
for
down.
it.
Break it down.
We have
yeah, go ahead.
Break it down.
Tanqueray orange. We have some cream de cocoa, and a little bit
I like
of
to
homemade
pronounce it
simple syrup.
cacao.
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 I don't know if that's right, but I like to say it that way.
That's how we
Cream de
like to say it.
cacao.
Yeah.
Cacao.
All
And
right,
then
so
it's
orange.
garnished with an orange wedge as well as orange chocolate shavings on the rim.
I think I saw you throwing some bitters in there.
We did top
Yeah,
it off
yeah.
just a couple
What kind of bitters?
dashes. Orange bitters.
Orange
Okay.
bitters. They wanted the orange to really.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that makes
Chocolate
sense.
orange. This is like a
Did
terry.
you use the one we have?
Yes.
Did
yes.
you use the regular? Or did you use all the bitter?
I think it was just the regular orange.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just asking
Of
questions.
course. Yeah.
Assuming.
Yeah.
So you guys remember
What
that
is your
video?
initial thought?
Remember that internet video? I see you asking questions. Assuming. No, probably not.
Nah,
I'll show you later.
All right. What are the initial reactions?
Orangey.
Yeah.
Almost makes me feel like it has a curacao in it.
Really?
Because it's
Okay.
orange. Curacao is orange liqueur,
Mhm.
so it's got that big, heavy, oily, orange oil
Mhm.
taste.
So what is blue curacao?
It's dyed blue?
Dyed blue.
But it's still just orange
Yeah,
tasting?
it's just orange, and they dyed it blue just so they can make tropical drinks with it. Shit.
Yeah.
Like no shit.
Wow.
It's a facade.
Yeah.
My
That
life
is
is a
very
Blew
blue.
odd.
my mind,
They
Blue
didn't
man.
just
motorcycle.
dye it
Fuck
blue, they
you.
dyed it blue.
Well, like orange motorcycle.
Yeah. That seems
Um,
unnecessary then.
It is very unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. I get an orange on I get a very boozy drink. I do.
It is
taste
very
I
boozy.
taste the alcohol, but I get the orange, and then when I do the chocolate, like I said earlier, I think it's like a Terry's chocolate orange.
it is, which I know you like. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Candyman
Oh yeah,
that you made.
yeah, with the rim.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I will
Anyway.
say producer Brandy tried it, and she said the chocolate was a necessity with it. So that's why we
Necessity.
added a little bit of extra on the rim.
Honestly,
Did she
I've
say
taken
what
a
with
couple
it?
more sips without the chocolate rim, and I'd be okay. Like I would
Yeah,
have been okay
I
without
think
the
so
chocolate.
too.
Yeah,
You know
I mean
what?
it's good with the chocolate.
I have an
rim, don't get me
idea.
wrong.
I mean, this is just based on the fact that it's kind of messy with the shavings.
Mhm.
If it was just on top,
So we tried that too.
Did it go in
was
the bottom?
floating on top,
Yeah.
and it seemed like it was a inconsistent amount going in. It kind of got mushy. It kinda-
yeah, I guess then
yeah,
you'd run
yeah.
into having to do like an egg white foam just to keep it on top. But or like, what if you did like a zest of the chocolate so it was kind of powdery?
Oh, there's that too. I was thinking maybe a cocoa powder, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd be afraid of mix.
Yeah.
You know, and then but
Well-
that's just pure on the fact that it's
So
the mess. But
the idea with the shavings, if I may,
no, yeah. What's the inspiration?
the
behind
inspiration
this
was from
drink?
the episode called Ladder to Heaven, and that's where Kenny dies, and dies for real.
dies for real.
His parents cremate him, and the boys, mourning through everything, end up in a candy contest, and they end up winning the candy contest, but they need the ticket stub. But Kenny has the ticket stub on him. He puts it in his pocket before they win.
Yeah.
And because he dies, he gets cremated. It must be in the cremation. But the boys don't know what cremation is. So they go over his house and say, we need to find Kenny. He has the ticket. And his parents show them the urn. And later that night, they go and steal the urn and try to get Kenny out of the urn. And they find out it's just dust. But Cartman believes it's chocolate milk mints.
You know, we are.
So what he
Dust
does
in the
is
Dust in the
he,
wind.
in turn, takes the ashes and puts them in milk and then drinks them. So we have an ode to the episode by having the shavings to be like the ashes for Kenny.
The chocolate for the reference for why the kids drank him to begin with, and then the Kenny itself.
Yeah,
The
I was gonna
candy
ask
color,
another
yes.
question. You said it was orange chocolate.
Yes, it was.
So how did you do that?
It was just
you bought
Yeah, we
orange
bought
chocolate.
orange chocolate.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Lint,
I didn't know if you had
70%.
made like
our own.
homemade. Yeah,
Well, you guys are.
I was just asking.
Of
know,
course, yeah. We
if
ended up-
anybody would have made their own orange chocolate, I believe it would have been
You guys made it.
you and bartender Carlita.
So it's. You want to go over the ingredients again?
Sure.
So,
Tanqueray orange.
Tanqueray Sevilla orange,
hmm
which we always forget to bring the bottle in here.
Yeah.
Bummer. It's all right. Usually have the bottle in like.
Oh, do you show it?
but I think we miss every other episode. It's pretty good. We're pretty
Yeah.
Well, if
consistent.
you check out the Instagram, you'll see a picture of all the
That's true.
ingredients out there.
Yeah. At Gin and Soap Spot.
James of Pot, yeah. So we got Sevilla, Tanqueray,
hmm And then
Hard
we
Q.
have, cream de coco or cacao,
Yep.
depending on your preference. and pronunciation.
Depending on your pronunciations.
Homemade simple syrup.
Is it just regular simple syrup?
Yep, sugar and water.
Alright.
Heat it up.
Excusez-moi.
2 dashes of bitters, squeeze of a little orange peel, and then we use that for the garnish, and then the chocolate shavings for the rim.
So when you use to squeeze the orange peel, did you put it on the rim or you just put it in
So yeah, so in order for the shavings to attach, yes, you can. That's
yeah,
actually a
you
good trick
get
for
a little
bartenders.
wetness.
Mhm. It helps stick to it.
Wetness and sticky.
You got to wet the rim
hmm
before you put chocolate on it. So, yeah, I think it's good. It's very boozy. I think Jim
Yeah.
will love it.
I think
He's a big booze guy.
the thing too, I think we mentioned this off camera when you were making it, but it's a Kenny orange.
Thank you.
That's
It is
that's
Kenny
a hard orange to hit. And that's a Kenny orange.
Yes, that was
It's
Carly.
it's
She
almost
was
like my
working on the
chair's kinda
ratio.
Kenny orange-ish.
Oh yeah.
A little bit, actually. Looking at that, it's kind of
yeah.
Kenny orange.
It's late season Kenny
So if you had
orange.
to give it, yeah, well, it's in the dusk.
Yeah.
So if you had to grade it, we're going to cocktail scale.
Yeah,
time.
going to the cocktail scale, going to the
Fantastic.
scale.
Going to the cocktail scale. You made it. Honors.
Honors of first rate.
First rate, like it affects my rank.
I would do a 3. I would order one more round.
Well, that's
Okay.
not. No, it says
The
another
scale,
round.
right?
It doesn't say one more.
Or order another round. Yeah.
And then after that, you got to get another one.
Oh, you
And then
keep
you gotta get
ordering?
no, I'm
You
just
keep-
kidding.
I would order another round of it.
It's actually a loophole. It's an endless cycle of drinks.
Here, that's a good rating, a strong 3. Here's my question for you though. I want to rate it a 3 because I would order this again.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem. I'd be like, can I get it without the rim? Not that the rim was bad. I'm just not a chocolate guy typically.
Right.
And I think the drink was solid enough that I would have just kept drinking it. Because it already had the chocolate kind of in it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, does that automatically bump my rating down to a 2?
Because you're altering it.
Yeah, I'm ordering another round, but I've altered an ingredient.
It's not
I
the
think
same.
it shouldn't.
So
It's a different drink.
that's why I think on the rim helps. Because just like with
I
the
didn't have to-
margarita,
oh, yeah,
you get
yeah.
as much
If they were
salt
like,
as
you know
want.
what, we actually have to give it to you. We pre-rim our glasses for this drink.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, fine.
We're-
I'll
we're in
still
the
take
back.
another rim.
So we got a guy back there rimming glasses all
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
All right. Respect his
Yeah.
job, please. Get the rim. I think. Oh boy. I think it's honestly. I think it's gonna be a 2 for me.
Okay.
Mostly because it's boozy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like I finished it, but if I get more, I might not make it to
Done.
the end of the night. You know, like that kind of
You'll
thing.
be like Kenny. You'll be dead.
Yeah, I'll be dead. You know, so like there's only so many. It's like having martinis all night. You can't
Yeah.
you can't be doing that.
Well, it is. I guess it is an ode to a martini.
But you
as
know
well.
that's my only really complaint is that it's just you know like
Yeah.
you
I
drink
mean, it
a lot
makes
of
sense.
and you know I also tend whatever that was tend to lean towards like soda like carbonated
Yeah.
light
Like it was very still.
Yeah,
Like
it's very-
yeah.
in your fucking
Yeah,
gullet.
yeah.
So I mean
That makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
2
332. That's solid.
2
You sounds
sounds
like
bad.
obviously
Yeah,
we all drink.
Yeah.
Like,
2 sounds
actually,
bad, but
Billy,
it's
you're the
not.
one that has drank the least.
I know. Well, because I had a
I
couple.
had a theory
earlier.
that sometimes when you drink your drinks really quick, it's a 1.
That's true.
Because sometimes you just power through.
Yeah,
through.
When I
that
saw
is
you
true.
chugging it, I was like, Chris does not like this drink. I could just tell.
I
My
think-
dude is not having it.
I honestly I thought it was kind of good.
Mhm.
Like with just like I could still get the chocolate without having to eat the rim.
Oh yeah, it does have the cocoa in there.
Yeah.
Chris,
so
did you just say, eat the rim?
I did. I guess lick the rim.
I think they're synonyms.
Yeah.
I believe.
But yeah, I think
Whatever
332.
floats your boat.
Was that 2.67?
332?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
I'll take it.
I think that's respectable.
What's 223? 233. So
Yeah,
267 puts it above
Puts it right at CTC level.
CTC level, which is about right. I like
Yeah,
CTC, and I know you didn't like that one because it was milk.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like for me, I think it belongs right with it though, where it's like a drink that had some divided opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think when you look at the list, it's like things that are 2 and below are the ones where you don't really want to ever drink.
Yeah,
again.
you don't want to go there. But
Mhm.
these are the like I think anything above a 2.67 is a drink I would tell fans worth checking out. And this is definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. So check it out.
There we
Go
go.
make it.
Thank you.
Dude,
Help.
okay. Did you ever like get annoyed when like a waitress or whatever would salt your like napkin?
Yeah.
Mm.
What are you doing?
It
I
didn't
feel
help.
like that was an older practice because I haven't seen it in a very long
Oh,
time.
the
It was
new
at a
age,
diner.
the new age
Yeah.
cocktail waitresses are just not salting.
Nope.
They're salty enough.
They know it's silly
know
and
it's-
stupid.
It's gonna get crumpled and mushed anyway when it
Like
gets moist.
that's the kind of stuff they do at Applebee's.
With your
That's
$1
true.
margarita.
Yeah.
Applebee's. They'd salt it and they'd be like, "Thanks." I was gonna use it for my fries.
I will say there was a somebody I was walking by and they put salt in their beer. Have you ever seen
Tinoco
that?
does that.
Really?
Well, I don't know. If
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it only specific kinds of beer, you think?
Light beers.
Huh?
Yeah. What kind of beer?
Light beers. Coors Light, Bud Light.
Light beers.
Yeah.
But like
Now,
light
I've also
beers.
heard like tomato juice in beer.
Yeah. Clamato juice
Yeah.
too.
No,
Clam
thank you.
juice.
Nope. I tried the salt and what did it taste like? Tastes like salted beer. That's
which
all.
is that. Well, okay. So what about like salt on your melon?
You normally don't do that.
Cantaloupe?
Nope.
That's a melon.
Yeah.
What about salt on your ice cream?
No.
I never done that either.
Actually, I guess if you had a salted caramel ice cream,
Oh, now
It has-
okay.
like, or pretzels and ice. Now, I will say, chocolate covered pretzels and ice cream, fantastic.
Capiche?
Capiche.
Yeah.
Well, we are
Yeah.
here today,
We are here today. We're sitting here.
and with like we said, Billy. And I think you alluded to it because we talked about the drink, but
Mhm.
what we're here to talk about is South Park. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is your favorite. You made a comment where you said favorite comedy show, which almost made me want to be like, so it's not your favorite
Not your
show.
favorite show, just favorite comedy show.
Did I say comedy show?
You did.
Interesting.
You added
Okay.
that I noted that qualifier. The
Okay.
tape will reveal.
Run it back, run it back.
Interesting.
No, but I would have thought this was your
Not gonna
favorite
rebut that,
overall
but-
show.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Say
I
no?
would have thought.
So is it or no?
I would say definitely favorite comedy. I wouldn't say favorite show of all time, but it's definitely one
all
I can always go to.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
definitely a go to. It's on. I'm gonna watch it no matter what
Okay.
episode it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why we wanted to talk it with you, is because this is more
Yeah.
like you really like this.
You
It's
seem
like
to really
talking
want-
90s with
Yeah.
Potozic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like talking other stuff with Duhamel. Everything else.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I actually
And you're here for just South Park.
I ended up getting into South Park because on New Year's Eve, Comedy Central does a South Park marathon similar to Twilight Zone marathon.
Really? Like
So,
every New
yeah.
Year's Eve is I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
Huh.
Every
How long have they been
every
doing that?
Thanksgiving is James Bond.
Really?
is it
Just saying.
okay?
Oh.
If you guys want to watch.
Just like TBS Christmas is Christmas
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was, my dad would always watch Twilight Zone and I would try to find something else. And then it ended up being South Park. So, but yeah, it's on
I
all
always
day.
go back to South Park.
Mm-hmm.
It always goes
All
back.
reliable is what I like
Okay.
to call it.
Yeah.
And you were hooked instantly?
Yes. I think it was like 90, 98, 99.
Wow.
It's
You're
when I
like
started
5 years
watching.
old now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, this is my shit.
I can relate to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Right
It was-
on.
Well, what I liked about it was just more, obviously edgy. They always
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to push the button, but
Mhm.
and I mean being in 7,
Yeah.
8 years old, it's just potty mouth and just
Yeah.
cool stuff,
Like they definitely pushed boundaries like from the beginning. And you said you
Yeah.
knew you had some you had some interesting like history about the
Oh, yeah.
actual show.
So-
So I'm interested. Like, what would you say if there's one thing you could tell someone about like how the show was made, or you know what I mean, like one interesting historical fact about South Park?
I would say because it's made in about 6 days each episode.
Yeah.
They did do a documentary about it. If you want to take a look, it is 6 days to air. For
Is that a Netflix one? I can't remember. I think it
I
is.
think it was Comedy Central.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Comedy
you
Central
can find
special.
it for comedycentral.com, I think.
Okay.
But
YouTube probably.
I thought that was
when you're
the
done with
most-
the Jen Sophie YouTube channel, you can just hop over
There we go.
to Comedy Central. Yeah.
Did you know that? Like, did people know? I feel like I
No,
didn't know that
I
until
didn't.
that.
I
didn't
watched
either.
that special.
But I mean, like, I didn't know that they did that
Oh,
until
until
that's.
then?
Yeah, I was
Yeah, I
like,
didn't
damn,
know.
I guess.
I think
true.
that's what made it more special for me. Was
Yeah.
the fact that it was so off the cuff and the fact that they take their product so seriously that they're upset with it at the end, that they feel like they could do more, even though
Yeah.
the episode is fantastic, just shows that they crave to make it better each time
Yeah.
afterwards.
That's what you want.
But I think what's funny in that documentary is when the editor calls the TV station, like Comedy Central, and they're like, "Hey, there's going to be a lot of shit going on in this episode." And they're like, and then the lady has to actually say what's happening,
Uh
and they're like, "Is it okay, if they shit in their mouth?"
huh.
And she's on the phone. They're like, "I don't know if shit will be present, but that will be happening." So it's like that awkward conversation.
Yeah.
And you're trying to imagine
Like the
being on the
legal.
other end of the line.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're just
Are
a
you
regular-
allowed to show this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a very legal kind of conversation about pooping in mouth.
Exactly, and you're trying to find the context, and it's just somebody who happened to answer the phone.
Yeah,
Just some
yeah.
random maybe
You don't-
intern or something.
I feel like they probably have someone hired at Comedy Central that's like the South Park liaison.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You are the person that answers the calls from South Park every week because
Yeah.
no one else wants to hear their pitch.
Well, it's funny
You know,
because
like
most
Yeah.
has gotten through, and we're like, how the hell did that get through? But they did have 2 episodes that were banned.
Oh.
Yeah, 200 and 201.
Were those the ones I believe that showed Muhammad? Is that the reason that they were banned?
I believe so. Yeah, and then it was also because of all the outrage because all the celebrities were made fun of, like all in one episode. They all come in to try to take over South Park. It's crazy.
Oh. And those were the banned episodes?
Yeah.
Ah.
people get, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
interesting.
get it. People get mad about some weird shit.
Mhm. Considering what they've made fun of, the
Mhm.
fact
Sure.
that those are the ones that were.
Yeah. I feel like
Cut.
I've seen episodes that I feel like this probably should have been banned.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not right.
No, but not in like a, just it is kind of crazy that they can make, like, that's how they stay so relevant
Mhm.
versus like I think some shows, especially the longer they go, they just are like they get really entrenched in like characters and more because they do it so like 7 days to air. It's like more about how will these characters react to this specific thing that everyone's talking about right now.
Exactly.
You know what I
think
mean?
about- Think about how like the present day like news cycle, everything changes. It's 24
Yeah,
hours,
yeah, yeah.
something's happening. So if you start doing something that's relevant and then you take 6 months to make an episode,
Yeah,
that's not even.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah, it's
things that
dated.
change over 3 times
Yeah,
by
yeah.
that point, or something.
yeah
may have
it's kind
changed
of
to
like
prove
when
it
everything
false.
came out after COVID.
Mhm.
And everything's got like, masks and stuff. But it was already like after everything was pretty much like
Mhm.
Yeah,
passed over. So like, all right.
Well, it's funny. There was an actual episode. It was about last night, and it was about Obama McCain being the presidential election.
Uh-huh.
They made 2 episodes so that on Wednesday after election night, it
Whoever
could be the
won.
right episode.
Oh. I mean that's like you said earlier, it kind of goes to show how seriously they take like
Yeah.
their craft, that they'd be willing to be like, well, one of these isn't going to be shown, so it's like a waste of effort.
Yeah.
But
It's crazy because you could have got out of it. You could have had them wake up at the end of the episode. It was a dream. This didn't really happen.
You know, it's funny about that because
it's true.
I think Family Guy falls on that too much.
hmm
The amount of episodes I've seen where like
Fake
something
outs?
happens and then Stewie is just in a
dream.
in a generator.
I
where-
hate
Yeah.
Family Guy. I don't. It just
That's what got me off of Family Guy.
that's when
South Park got you off of Family Guy?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
No,
Getting off.
that kind of
I
thing
use
where,
heroin to get
off
where they
cocaine.
wake up where
It's
they're in
okay.
a simulation. And he goes, "Wow, that was weird." And you're like, "Well, that was a waste of 3 episodes."
Yeah.
I was laughing at not real shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not this cartoon dog talking.
It is interesting though. Speaking of cartoon, I remember when Family Guy did Brian died, whereas South Park has Kenny who dies every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of an interesting dichotomy.
Yes, when Brian died in Family
Go
Guy,
into that.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy about that when they got rid of
Yeah, that was
Brian.
that was
Is he
kind-
still
Because
gone?
they ended up they tried it out for I think it was 3 or 4 episodes. He was gone, and then when Stewie builds a time machine and goes back and saves Brian, and then all of that was for nothing.
yeah.
So it is the fallback plan. Let's see what happens if we get rid of try to
Yeah,
keep
like
him
did
relevant.
everyone get like the ratings drop off significantly? Okay, I guess
We'll
let's bring him back.
Yeah.
And that, I know Family Guy, they make American Dad, Cleveland Show,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. And it's a similar kind of structure. It's the family, which is funny about South Park. South Park originally went to Fox to get put on the air.
To be South Park.
Yeah, and they said, no, we want something more family oriented because they had The Simpsons going at that point.
And they chose Family Guy?
And they ended up going with Family Guy.
Huh. I didn't realize those shows started around the same, or like could have been pitched around the same time.
I think Family Guy
Family Guy's
started
a
in
little later.
99. I'm sorry?
I think Family Guy's a little later. But
Well, I
then
know it
again,
got-
I think Family Guy started and it failed.
It did. It
Oh.
had 3 seasons and was cut by Fox.
And then it went to
came back.
Adult Swim.
And
And
became
it became popular and they picked it back up.
interesting.
Yeah.
So like I bet that's why it seems a lot later than it was. 'cause
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a downtime.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I remember an interview with Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and they were talking about how the first, I think they want to say 1 through 4 or 1 through 5 seasons they try to forget about, but they didn't actually do. They're like, we don't consider that real. and they considered after, like, I can't remember what point it was, but there's a point where they're like, now we figured out how to make this show.
I know they talked about they hated the animation.
Well, it was mostly
it took forever.
If you find the interview, it was they hate the animation, but they also just hated the subjects.
Mhm.
And you can tell if you watch when it starts becoming more of current events.
Mhm.
This 6-day rotation thing, you can tell when they like can have episodes of something that happened last weekend.
Yeah.
And I think they're saying that once they figured that formula out, they really enjoyed making the show a lot more.
Mhm.
And I think everything from like season 1 to 4 is like crap. And I was curious on your thoughts. Do you have seasons? Because I feel like they're kind of eras. They're like,
yes, I would say the Renaissance era of South Park is the birth of the actual current events going on right away.
Okay.
Because a lot of it was satirical. It was a lot of making fun of certain situations.
Mhm.
But yes, I would say probably season 6 and up until season 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long window of being
It is. Well,
prime
it's
South
funny
Park.
because Carly and I were going through it, and
Bartender Carlita.
bartender Carlita, yes, and she went episode by episode with me, and asked me, is it a good episode to talk about or is it not?
Sure.
And it's funny because seasons 1 through 4, let's say, didn't have that many. Meanwhile, season 6, all the way to about, I guess, 17. Had about 5 or 6 episodes per season that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
When was the ending? Like to you, you're saying towards like 17 and stuff,
Mhm.
like, and then
I think it was when they decided to really, because South Park's famous for a couple, and I know we were talking about this the other day, chronological episodes where they have 2 or 3 that kind of mesh together.
yeah,
When the entire season became a storyline. Where I can't just pop on an episode. Like if I pop in season 22, or season 21, I pop on episode 4, I have no clue what's going on.
the jokes run through the whole season. Yeah,
You're like, who's this guy? And it's, a new character was actually put in episode 1.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he actually has a part in this now.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's kind of like, what was that? Like you said, Integrity Farms.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was
Era.
episode.
See, I like Integrity Farms. That's actually what kind of ignited it back for me. was the
PC
Integrity
Principle.
Mhm. And then the whole
kind of
thing with Mr. Garrison becoming Donald Trump.
I don't even see. I haven't got
You
that.
didn't? Oh my
No.
goodness! So it's actually really, really funny. It's.
Oh, I remember this now.
It is funny if you
'cause
watch.
he's with Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah,
Oh.
Caitlyn Jenner runs as his vice president, and he wins. And he can't believe that he won. He says all this outlandish stuff. It's pretty much 2016 over.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like I said, you have to really, if you're going to commit, watch that season from start to finish in order to actually enjoy it and think that it's funny.
Yeah, the entire season.
Yeah. Whereas, random Wednesday night, you'd go into South Park, all right, what do they got going on? And oh
That
my
is
goodness, Cartman woke up because he's upset that the Chinese are taking over. And he takes over a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, Comedy Central at 10 p.m. I think would just show that's how I used to watch South Park.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until like it was on streaming that I
Mhm.
ever sat down and watched more than just that. And I think that there was a clear time in my life where I was like going through a lot of South Park and I was like, man, these dudes are really, really funny. But I can't remember where I hit a line where I was like,
Right.
something about this isn't
Funny anymore?
Yeah, like I
It's
could still
okay.
watch a season 7 episode maybe
Mhm.
and laugh.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like a season, and maybe it's after, what'd you say, 16, 17?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a season 18 episode
yeah.
where I just don't
think-
laugh.
Yeah,
I
there's-
think
there's
mine
a-
was around PC Principle,
Mhm.
Integrity Farms, and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like when it started, the Whole Foods and stuff moving in.
Soda Sopa.
Like all that stuff, I think when they started doing all that kind of stuff, it just
Yeah.
didn't land as much for me. I
Mhm.
mean, there were some Whole Foods episodes where he was like, "Oh, you don't want to donate
You don't
to a
wanna
starving
donate.
child. You got to say in this microphone,
Yeah.
you know, like that you don't want to donate to starving
Yeah. Have you
children."
ever been in that situation where, like, would you like to round up for charity?
Oh,
for
yeah.
kids? It's
I
like
know the
70 cents.
episode. Yeah.
But in this case, the person actually looks at you and goes,
Billy,
so you'd rather.
we've seen it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't even know how late. Like to me, I think I remember. Like it is interesting because like I can remember scenes like that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking back and I'm like, wait, I don't know when that was. Like to me, that feels like it was good enough to be in the early episodes. But is that like late South Park?
I would say it's a little later.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
too late. I think it was right before, like I said, the whole thing where they switched to Mr. Garrison being president.
I'd be interested, Billy, in your take because like I think both Zach and I would have a hard time verbalizing this in terms of like, like we haven't watched a lot of the old seasons in the same way you have.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to your favorite, but I want to get to what is your if you had to put if you were like don't watch this this is an episode if it was like playing randomly in a hotel you wouldn't even watch it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, turn off my favorite show because
You
that
want his
episode.
worst
Yeah,
episodes?
Yeah. Funny
well,
Bot.
like one or two.
Funny Bot, 100%.
Funny Bot?
Yeah.
Do I know
Is it
that?
Awesome-O?
No. So that's a good episode.
That's like Awesome-O.
So,
I like Awesome-O.
Funny Bot's an episode where Jimmy is like
Oh.
is going against this like computer robot that tells jokes.
Yeah, I like
and it's
Funny
just
Bot.
so annoying. I can't stand it.
And
Just
then they bury him.
I do like Jimmy, but I like Jimmy when he's involved with everybody. When it's a Jimmy-owned episode, it's like, and that was pretty much like a Jimmy episode, and it did not like.
But do you
it.
like
So-
Timmy-focused episodes?
Is there
Like,
something
wait-
wrong with Jimmy that you don't like?
I'm sorry. Well, no, he's just
Something
he's
wrong?
a secondary character.
Yeah,
that
you
just
like
adds-
him to be. It'd be like focusing on like a random character you didn't like all that.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
because there are a couple like I would say somewhat secondary. Like Butters has his own episode, and that's a great episode. Or the Goth Kids, they have their own episode, but there's a little bit more to it. I just didn't think Funny Bot was that great of a show.
Okay.
Funny Bot.
Do you have one that you would
Funny
say,
Bot.
you would say is like this is one of my least favorite ones?
Least favorite. Jeez.
Because like I do feel like you and I think the ones that I'm thinking about are like
though, because I just remember things that I liked, I guess.
yeah. You remembered also or Funny Bot.
I remember Funny Bot. I remember Randy eating an Impossible Whopper, Integrity Farms or something, and I was just like, whatever. But I don't know. I think I had to watch like all of them again and like figure out what the hell one sucks.
Yeah. What did you think of the South Park movie?
The movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. I did see it.
Yeah. I feel like we were too young to see it, but I remember seeing
we were
it.
definitely too young
Yeah.
to see it, but I remember seeing it.
Did you see it like when it came out?
No, so I saw it a little later on.
Okay.
At
I
least
just
where
remember
could
Kenny seeing
recollect that
boobs.
I had seen it.
That's
Yeah,
all I
yeah.
remember was Kenny seeing boobs.
Yeah.
At the end. That's all I remember. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I remember the devil and Saddam Hussein
Yeah.
like being in bed. Like there was just a lot of jokes that like as a kid I was like, I don't get
Well,
that.
that movie did spawn a good song.
Which one?
Kyle's mom's a bitch.
Was it a movie?
Yeah.
Did you ever play any of the games? I know you said. I heard
I
you tell
played
me.
Stick of Truth. Yeah.
Okay.
And I
you know,
really liked
I
that.
used to play South Park on 64 a lot.
Oh.
They had
okay.
a game on 64.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had one on 64.
Whoa.
It was like a first person shooter.
No way.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Was it just called like South Park?
Yeah.
Oh.
And like every level was like an episode. Like, so there was one where like turkeys were everywhere. There's one where the aliens were coming, and
I think I'm remembering this.
then but then you also, the best part about it was you get multiplayer, like GoldenEye style, you know?
Nice.
And it was 4-player, and you had these crazy ass weapons and shit, like Nerf
So
guns.
who were you though in the game? Were you just
You pick your character.
okay?
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything different about them,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But like
Yeah.
when you played multiplayer, you'd be like Cartman or Kyle, whatever.
Okay.
And I just remember one of the weapons was like Terrence and Phillip dolls,
Nice.
and they were like mines, yeah, not
Yeah.
grenades. One was like a grenade, one went off, farted immediately, like gas grenade, right? And the other one was like if you would stick to a wall, and if someone walked past, it'd fart. And you're like, right? And the best part was like if you put in a code, it was like unlimited ammo. You could line a whole fucking room up with I can't remember which one it was. Terrence maybe
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the one that was like a proximity mine. You line a whole house up with Terrence dolls, right? And it was just like so much fart, and you're like, got him, and you're like, oh shit. It was fun though because I was
Yeah.
like 10 years old farting on
Yeah.
Coop.
I actually had a Stick of Truth underway. I would play it in the lounge.
Oh.
And then everybody started watching. It was really cool.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
played that or the Fractured Butthole.
The Fractured Butthole.
Did you play that one?
I did. I never finished it, unfortunately.
I even like got it because it came with Stick of Truth free, and then I just never played it.
Am I making this up, or did they have like a kart racer?
Mm-hmm.
They did?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
South Park Racing.
Yeah.
The cover had Cartman as a cop. I
Yeah.
remember that. Respect
Was
My
it a
Authority.
GameCube game?
That was just, I think 64.
Oh, it was 64?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like we were alluding to, like
Remember
they
it.
like to push things and
Yeah,
be
yeah.
a little controversial. In the Stick of Truth, I don't know if have you ever played it?
I honestly haven't.
So when you create your player, it says difficulty. Would you like to play easy or very hard? But when you change difficulty, the skin color of your character changes from light.
Oh.
So if you were,
Yeah.
your life is harder
Yeah.
if you do it that way.
Yeah. Interesting.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. That is interesting.
But
That is very.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Interesting.
I cannot confirm or deny if it is actually harder or if it's just a joke. But
Interesting.
if the game play is any harder,
No. Yeah. I mean, that, like you said, that alluding to like them liking to push buttons. That's certainly.
That certainly sounds
Yeah.
like them.
Yeah.
I have an
Um,
idea. I'd be kind of
yeah.
interested. I was going to tell you one of my favorite episodes.
please.
And I'd be interested if you ranked that episode.
So yeah,
in
before you do, I want to say, quantitatively, how many episodes have you labeled as like one of your favorites? Just a number,
He's got
just
a
a
lot.
ballpark, just a quick
Probably 85.
85.
That are good. That are like, yes, I really will say that.
Okay,
You
so I
have
want to see if
85,
your
10 out of 10.
I want to see if your episode
Oh, good.
falls in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
it
right.
falls into his 85, which I was hoping was a lower number, but okay.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
go with
funny because there was
85.
a lot of episodes that Carly was saying. I was like, yes, but I don't want to talk about it just because it's a good episode. But now I'm gonna have
Yeah.
200 episodes that I really like.
Jesus.
One of the ones that immediately comes to mind, we talk about butter-centric episodes, is, and you'll know the actual name probably because apparently Billy is a catalog. If you just
Right-
if you just
right
give
here.
like the synopsis,
Right here.
he knows the episode
Catalog in
name.
his brain.
When Butters becomes a pimp.
Yes, Butter's
Oh, yeah.
bottom bitch.
Yeah. Oh, that's the name of it.
That's the number. Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought they would be that, but
Forward? Yeah,
yeah.
apparently so.
Yes.
Did that make the 85?
It was up there. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good one, but just because of how innocent Butters is.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we're just going for a kiss, and then it's like, oh,
Do you know what I'm
Senator-
saying?
I'm sorry.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's in your 85. What about the
drop them one.
Huh?
Yeah, we're just gonna drop some
I'm gonna
episodes.
drop
See if they
some.
go in your
All right,
85.
what about-
See if I know the synopsis. How about that?
You do, but I'll just throw another Butters out there where he dies. Doesn't die, but he dies.
Oh, you mean like
They
when
have
they
the
pretend?
shit.
So that's I believe it's Margarine when they
Yeah, and
make
then,
him into
like-
a girl
and then,
they
like,
make him jump.
The dude from Pet Cemetery rolls up with Stotch's dad.
Yeah.
It's like, Stotch, you don't want to go down there.
You don't want to go down that route.
You don't want to do that route, Stotch.
That is better.
Is that on there?
I'm sorry.
Is that on your
on there?
list?
It
Is
is.
that on your
Yeah.
85? Okay.
He's just like, yeah, it's good.
Throw us one from your 85.
I'm sorry.
What about
Throw-
the Prius one?
Oh, that's a good one.
It is.
Ding,
Yes. When they move
ding.
out to when they move out to San Francisco. Smuggler.
Oh, this better be in your 85. If this better be in your 10. This is how much I think this episode is a top 10 episode. Internet, when the internet goes out.
Overlogging. Fantastic episode.
Okay. Would it
100%.
have been in your 10?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that episode just because of just how
I'm going California
because
way.
one that the town
California
always
way.
falls apart over everything.
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
crazy happens. But the fact that Randy can't deal without emailing and he
And
brings
porn.
everybody out to California.
Your
for it.
thoughts on Mr. Jefferson?
That episode, I like
Mr. Jefferson.
the songs were
Michael
funny.
Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, come and ride on my magic choo-choo train. Hanyawa.
Billy, you know these things. Nice.
So
Would that have been your
A
85?
later one.
No, not really.
There's a later one that I
Oh.
don't know if it falls in your list, but I thought I liked was the gluten-free one.
gluten-free Ebola? It was up there, but it's when their penises fly off.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed it. I love watching penises fly off.
Ooh. All right, I've got a question for you, Billy. I want to know your favorite episode. All right, I want to hear your favorites, but here's what I want to do. I'm going to say a character's name, and I want to know your favorite episode where they are the...
Centric?
Yeah. If I said Butters, your favorite Butters episode would be...
Okay.
Well, I know. Yeah, that's a good idea. I just want to know, for my own sake,
Okay.
what's the one where Kenny's dad has to shit and throw up in a can the whole episode?
That's when Kenny's mom is trying to have...
And then she ends up having a kid, and it's a new Kenny.
And it's a new Kenny, yes. And Kenny ends up throwing baseballs at his dad in the crotch. But he also tries to have it...
That's right, she's pregnant because he's like, he doesn't want to have a brother or a sister.
He brings her on a roller coaster so that she can have a miscarriage.
Yeah, and then ends up, he dies, and then she ends up having the kid, and it's Kenny. I'm going to name him Kenny.
And I think it's like, man, this must have been like the 50th time this happened. And she goes, 52nd. And it just happened.
Yeah. This isn't you. This is the first episode I've heard him mention that you haven't been able to give us.
Yeah,
the name.
I can't.
You stumped him.
Stumped.
I know of it.
Stump the
chump.
Yeah, but Billy.
But yeah.
Stump the bum.
Stump the bum.
Not stump the chump. You're not chump.
Thank you.
You know what I mean.
What was that? Stump the Schwab? Do you remember that ESPN show?
Oh,
The big fat nerd dude, and they're like, he was like a genius with sports knowledge, and then they'd come in and try and stump him.
I remember that. Yeah.
What was that? Stump Schwab or something like that?
It was something like that.
They would have like this guy, and he was like a sports trivia wizard, and they would just go against him and try and beat him.
Okay.
It was on ESPN, I think,
Yeah.
for some reason. You know, when they actually had like shows besides Sports Center every day, all day, not showing any real sports.
For show.
For show, anyway. Billy, bring it down, break it down.
Here's the first character I'm going to give you. This
Give
is my
him
personal...
some crazy.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to give him my personal favorite character. I want to know your favorite Kyle episode.
Kyle's your favorite.
Yeah, he's like the Michael Bluth, kind of like the straight man. Him and Stan are more of like the kind of just. Aren't they the ones that they feel represents them more?
Yeah.
I feel like
Cartman's just a loose cannon.
Yeah.
They've even said that Cartman just comes off, like some of the stuff is off the cuff, the things he says when they record it.
Well, it was funny because you didn't really mention it, but when that documentary, and they're talking to each other, and then just slip into the voices like nothing. Home dude will just be like, turn into Cartman.
Yep.
And the other guy turns into Butters, and they're like, we just made a scene. And they walk out and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Quick side fact, real quick. The Trey Parker's daughter voices Ike.
Oh, that makes sense.
You hear him, like, you fat bitch, and that's his little girl.
Canada on Strike is probably my favorite.
For Kyle?
In general.
Oh, in general? Okay.
Is that on your list?
I'm sorry? Yes, because I love the song too. It's Canada on Strike.
And then another one I would say it's up there is the Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy's Tats. Great episode. Because have you ever seen that one?
My bristles are... What does he say? What's the song? My bristles are long. I am a toothbrush. My bristles are long.
Well, no, you're thinking of a different one.
Tooth Decay.
That's Tooth Decay. That's not the Tooth Fairy one, though.
I'm thinking about Tooth Decay.
Okay. That's Tooth Fairy's Tats is an earlier episode.
Is Tooth Decay on there?
I'm sorry?
Is Tooth Decay on your list?
It's up there. Yeah.
It's somewhere on that list.
All right, now what's that song? Go.
Yeah,
what's that one?
Tooth Decay.
Let's see.
Oh, stumped him. Stumped him again. Look at me.
I can't recall the actual song. No. Not off the cuff. But.
Anyway, so your Kyle episode.
Your favorite Kyle
I would say
my
it's
personal favorite character.
when he's upset that he can't celebrate Christmas and he sings I'm a Jew on Christmas.
I will say every episode we've mentioned so far, you have harkened back to a song. So you're a fan of the South Park
I do
song.
love the songs. Yeah.
If I had to pick a favorite Kyle episode, it was the one where he had reconstructive surgery on his knees so he can jump higher in basketball.
That is a good one. Yep. And that's when Mr. Garrison becomes a girl. Because
that's the first episode.
Because that's when he learns. That's when he's like, oh, I can be something else. And then Kyle's dad becomes a manatee.
Dope.
Yeah, and then his knees explode.
His knees explode because he has Mr. Garrison balls in his knee.
And that was how that. Another good one. I don't know if I would say Kyle's in front of, but the one with the Shamu or the
Wilsiacs, Free Wilsiacs.
Wilsiacs.
I
it's
like
a good
that.
episode, dude.
Well, especially because the ending, when they feel like they did something great, and they look up.
They send him to the moon, and he's just there dead.
My personal favorite Kyle is I think we talked about this yesterday, where Kyle is an allegory for Jesus and the national. I think it's the national debt. Yeah, Margaritaville. You knew the episode.
Is that one with Peter the Rabbit?
So that's the Fantastic Easter Special. That's in my top 10.
Oh, that's in your top 10.
That's in my top 10.
You uncovered one of his top 10.
Yeah, where they're.
And the reason why is that when they're talking about, the Last Supper, and it's like, look, and then when we look beneath the paint, St. Peter is a rabbit. And then they say, look at the Pope's hat. It looks ridiculous on a man. It looks better for a rabbit. And it fits up and fits perfect on
Yeah.
It's so bad, but it's so good at the same time.
That's one where they cut the chicken's head off, and wherever it lands is the new.
Yes. Because
world
Stanley's
problem.
trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, what we should do now?
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, bail out.
I mean, it seems like, but it is a satirical take, though. It's like, what are these people doing? Like, it's every decision is made differently.
What are your thoughts on, like, his name, Twitch? Not Twitch.
Oh,
Tweak.
I felt like that was a weird period again where they tried to kill Kenny.
And replace him with someone?
Oh, he was the replacement friend. Tweak was, they had a whole, they had like a Bachelor style.
Yeah,
for friends.
What do you think about that one?
Tweak's a good character. I think when they added him with Craig, I like that. Like
Craig is cool.
The Tweak and Craig fight episode was great.
Yeah.
And then they had a love affair between Tweak and Craig. And
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, so it's Tweak x Craig is the episode, and they actually get together. They fall in love because somebody starts drawing anime pictures of Tweak and Craig, like in the show.
Yeah.
They start drawing anime pictures of them kissing and stuff, and they're like, "Well, I guess we should get together," and then they become a couple.
I guess we should just do it.
Wow. Interesting.
But I do like the fact that with Tweak's character is that he's so tweaked out because he's always on coffee. And he's so stressed, and his parents are so chill. They're like,
is that your favorite Tweak episode? Tweak x Craig?
Yeah, I would say so. Or no, I'm sorry, Tweak
your
versus
favorite.
Craig.
Oh, versus Craig. Okay.
It's probably easy. Well, let's go to another hard one. Stan. Ooh. Another broad.
Yeah.
I would say that's the shit episode where everything becomes shit for him. Growing up, I think the name is.
Isn't it near
Growing Old?
I don't remember that one.
So Stanley ends up having a birthday, and out of nowhere, all the stuff he used to like starts to sound like shit. Like he's listening to music, and it just poop sounds.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This sounds like shit," and his friends are like, "No, it's not.
It's good.
It sounds
Bro,
great."
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because you hear like, "We're going to listen to some Bob Dylan," and then that sounds like shit.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound like shit.
That's a good episode.
That's your favorite Stan episode.
Yeah, I would say.
I'm shocked. Honestly,
well, because what's funny about it is that that's actually a small chronological one.
Yeah.
That's when they started to flutter with it, and then it becomes like the Asperger's episode, and Kyle and Cartman become best friends. So I think that's a good episode just for that kind of.
Yeah.
Because there is the hockey one. There's Stanley's Cup.
I'd say my favorite is the hockey one.
Yeah, it is that's probably my second favorite.
Stan Marsh.
Is that the one where the kids get like fucking wrecked?
Rocked by the Red Wings.
Yeah, wrecked by the fucking Red Wings, dude. Hey, dude, you can play for us, kids.
Yeah.
Let's let them. But it's just what's so bizarre because it's pretty much Mighty Ducks. Stan's in trouble.
It's such a
he doesn't
fucking,
want to do
like
it,
this kid. The doctor's like, I don't know what's wrong with this kid. He seems to get better when you win and worse when you lose. Stan, you gotta win or he's gonna die.
Hi, coach. And he's like, what the fuck, man? Like, why is this
and then they get their
happening?
ass kicked and he just dies.
Nice.
Like, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, I guess another Stan episode is when he finds Scientology. And
R.
Randy's
Kelly in the closet.
I'm sorry,
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Yep, trapped in the closet. So Randy's like, do you want to save up money for a new bike or do you not want to be depressed? So he takes his 200 and goes to the Scientologist.
Randy's taking a turn where he wasn't a big thing, and then he just started becoming a main character.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, like I can think of my favorite Randy episode. Yeah. Easily.
What's your favorite Randy?
The Little League.
I was the Losing Edge. It's my favorite.
It's America.
Is that in your top 10?
It
that
is,
better be. I was gonna say that better
not
be
the big
top
balls
10.
one where he's got a wheelbarrow.
That's a great one.
Medicinal fried chicken.
The one where he's bored.
They're bouncing on the balls.
Would you say
it's
Tegrity
a hop?
Would you say Tegrity Farms is a Randy episode?
I think it's just his storyline.
It's it's his storyline at that point.
Yeah, probably.
Because there's a couple, like one Tegrity Farms like see it, like that part of the storyline episode that's great is Banned in China, when he goes to China to try to sell weed.
Yeah.
And he gets on the plane, and all of these celebrities who sell out to China are on. So Disney characters are on there. The NBA players are on there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, everybody's trying to get money from China.
I really weirdly liked WikiLinks.
Yeah.
With Lemmy Winks.
With Lemmy Winks. Oh, I think
WikiLinks.
it's Bass to Mouth, that episode.
That is Bass to Mouth. That's right. That's right.
He's like, you never go Bass to Mouth. You
Never
can go
ass
Ass to Trout.
Yeah,
but not
Bass to Trout. You don't go. Yeah.
All
But
right.
that's a great episode. Because then I started calling Penny Pennywinks. That's why I call her Pennywinks.
Oh, Pennywinks.
So
I do like the first Lemmy Winks episode. That's Stupid Spoiled Whore video.
You like
Players.
that one over this one?
I'm saying for Lemmy Winks, like that because it's
I like the fight at the end.
yeah.
So 10. Let's go 10. Let's count down.
Yeah, let's see your 10.
Yeah,
Do you
we're gonna
have
limit
your
to 10. I know
already?
you got 85, but let's go with 10, huh?
Let's see.
You don't want to go with 10?
We can do 5. Do you have?
You want to do 85? There was
Yeah,
another.
we'll do 5. How about
We'll
that?
do-
There was
He knows
another
it's five.
episode I could not think of, and so I just want to see if you jog my memory with your 5.
Okay. I would say number 5 is Red Badge of Gayness. That's when Cartman becomes General Lee, and they're doing the old Civil War reenactment, and
Never
Cartman
seen it.
takes over the country.
What season would that have been?
That was season 3. That's a
3.
That's his 5th pick. It's an
It's from
early
the
season.
early-
pick.
They should have just stopped after 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't. I never
that's
saw.
such a great episode because, like I said, they almost because it all goes off of a bet. He's like, oh, because Cartman wants to win, and he thinks being part of the South is going to win, and then he ends up taking over the entire country up to the president. And
Yeah. I'm interested because like when I think of the early seasons, it was definitely more potty humor. It felt like
that's what was
like over the top with that. Like instead of pushing the boundaries,
Lowbrow.
of, like, yeah. It was
Extremely
a more
low-
lowbrow.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's just
that's my
take.
observation.
that's my observation
Yeah.
about. I'm surprised the season 3 pick is. But if this is your favorite show, I hope to see a variety of seasons.
A variety of episodes.
Yeah, a variety of episodes being being like represented.
I would
Alright.
say number 4 is informative murder porn.
Informative murder porn.
That's the cable company episode where
Cable guy.
Cable guy.
Cable guy.
so that's where the boys are tired of their parents watching the Discovery shows about like families like killing each other, and they think it's like, oh, it's sexy, they love it, that's how they get their rocks off, so they ban it. And then the parents go to the cable company and say, you can't ban this, and it actually starts it kind of proves like every time you go to the cable company, right, and you say, hey, my bill's too high, and they go, oh, maybe you should go to another company. Oh, sorry, we're the only company in town. But they pull open their shirts and start rubbing. I'm so sorry. That's
I remember a scene when you described the rubbing of the nipples. I feel like I remember a scene being
Where's the one
posted.
with the BP? He's like, we're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're really sorry.
oh yeah.
We're
So that's
really
the oil spill episode. He's, like,
We're
he's
sorry.
sitting on a bear carpet.
Yeah.
So sorry.
So sorry. Really, really sorry.
That was 4.
My third one is Make Love, Not Warcraft.
Oh,
That's one I could
wow,
watch
yeah.
over and over again.
We
And
talked
over.
about that. Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins.
I just
Just throwing it out there.
But is that an early season one? Because that's also one
I
that
think that was
prompts.
like
season 10.
10.
But like that features a scene where poop is prominent.
Because they poop in a bucket or whatever.
Yeah.
Mom comes down.
She like sprays. But that's a great episode.
Yep.
It also made for a great meme, like that. The other guy on the other side.
Oh yeah,
Like that's
both of me.
Yeah.
That's a very
So
guy kicking my ass.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Madden. It's this guy.
Yeah.
So number 2 would be overlogging. We talked about
Oh, okay.
earlier.
We did talk about that. Yeah.
So that was in the top 10.
Heading out California way. Brazilian fart porn. Is that what it was?
That's
Yeah.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Kyle that unplugged the router?
Yes.
Okay.
Kyle goes, wait a minute.
Kyle specific episode.
He gets picked up and he's sitting there with everybody from World League, whatever, and and he just unplugs the big plug and puts it right back in. I've got internet. Me
Turn it off
too.
and on again.
Yeah,
There you go. Little IT crowd for you.
Nice.
Saves the day.
Yeah.
So we're up to number 1 now, right?
Number
Wow,
1.
number
This is his number,
one.
and this is your favorite show,
Favorite
favorite comedy
top.
show. Excuse me.
Yes.
Top episode.
So this episode is one that I've seen tons of times.
Yeah.
You discussed it with yourself.
Can't even put a number down.
You're like, oh my god. I've
Is it
seen
a comfort episode?
Yes. It's
Okay.
one that like I could put on, like I said, anytime. I could
Yeah,
be mad,
yeah.
upset, I could be happy, I'll put it on, I'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay.
And tell me, it's from season, where is it?
You say 1.
Season 5.
5.
Season 5.
That's still early.
And
I have a guess.
Okay.
Let's,
I have a
From
guess.
5?
I know your favorite character is Cartman,
Mhm.
right? I don't know if this season is too late for this, but when Cartman, his bully, when he kills his parents, Scott Peterman?
Scott Tenorman Must Die.
Tenorman Must Die.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is a
Chili.
fantastic episode, but that's in the top 10. That's not.
Radiohead's
number
there.
Yeah. Why is this
Not
kid
playing
crying?
high, they're not playing high and
Little
dry.
baby.
Yeah.
Tell you that much.
Let me
Do
lick
you
your
like it,
scalp.
Scott?
Yeah.
Do you like it, Scott?
That's my
salty.
guess for
Your
what
tears are salty.
your number 1. But is it too? Am I way off base? Is it
No.
too early a season?
No, not at all. Because Scott, I'm pretty sure that's in the same season.
Okay.
That
Okay.
actually happened
Cool.
before
very
this
But I
episode.
was wrong.
You
But
were wrong.
that's
Close,
not.
but
Do you have
no
a guess?
cigar.
I will say you're halfway right, though. It is a Cartman episode.
Okay.
I don't know.
From season 5.
Season 5 is very early.
Mhm.
I do not know.
So other episodes from there is
Oh, he's gonna let us astray.
The Entity. These are like what is that called? Like special recognition, or like if it's in the, trying to think.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mentions.
The Entity is in that season, and
Okay.
that's where Kyle's cousin Kyle gets introduced,
Kyle's cousin Kyle.
and he's a real like Jewish stereotype because his mom is sick. And
Yeah,
he comes
yeah.
to live with them, and that's he's like he's got this really crazy accent.
Yeah.
So I can't eat beef because it gives me gas. But the number 1 episode for me is Cartman Land.
Cartman Land.
Cartman
Cartman
Land.
Land.
And that's when Cartman inherits all this money from his grandmother unexpectedly, and he goes and buys a theme park for himself
Oh.
so that he can ride all the rides because he hates all the lines, all the people. He rides his own.
Yeah.
It's my favorite episode. Just because
Interesting.
like I'll be in a theme park and I'm like, oh,
If I could, I would have.
it's
I would have bought this. I would have Cartman Land.
And
you.
it's funny because there's tons. Like I said, I have 85 episodes that I
Yeah.
will laugh. Or there's some episodes that even Carly was talking about. It's like that's a good episode, but it's not up there.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cartman
Cartman
Land.
Land, 100%.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm not remembering a single scene from that.
Cartman Land? No.
No,
No.
oh my goodness.
And I feel like I knew, like I'm picturing. I didn't remember his cousin's name was Kyle, but now I remember Kyle.
So Kyle ends up having a hemorrhoid during that time because of Cartman.
He's sick.
He loses his faith in God because of Cartman getting all this money. He doesn't
Yeah,
deserve
yeah.
it. So Cartman ends up doing a commercial, and it's a commercial for Cartman Land.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
said, try out this brand new water slide, and then ride this roller coaster. And we have all these funds in the Pacific Northwest. All this fun.
Yeah.
And he's like, and the best part about it is you can't come. That's right. You can't come to my theme park. And he's like, yeah, so come on down to Cartman Land, but don't plan on getting past the parking lot because you can't get in.
So go fuck yourself.
Bad.
Do you remember? So you mentioned the what'd you call it? Continuation episodes or
Like a chronicle
Chrono-
episode.
yeah.
I remember the Wii one, Nintendo Wii.
Yes, that's
And I thought that was a pretty good. Where he was like waiting to go get the Wii,
it's
And-
something.
and he like went through time.
Yeah,
and they
so
ended up in a
I'm
planet
trying to
with, like-
remember the name of it, but yeah, so he ends up freezing himself. Butters actually helps him freeze himself
So he can wait until it releases.
because he can't stand
Oh,
to
yeah.
wait for the Nintendo Wii.
I got one.
Yeah. Go
The
for it.
metrosexual one,
Yes,
a good one.
where they all go metrosexual. That's a great episode.
Okay. I just remember the one I
South
wanted to
Park
mention.
is gay. I think it's.
that's what it is? Okay.
I remember the one I wanted to mention. It was the one where they became detectives, and the cop
Little
was
Crime
undercover.
Stoppers. That is a great episode.
Yeah.
You know what
That
one
is
I'm
a
surprised
great
you
episode.
didn't mention?
Mm.
Like you like the one where Randy becomes like a creme fraiche.
Creme fraiche.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a good
La, la,
one.
la, free.
I have to find one because producer Brand's favorite chef, Giada. She
That's
hates
her favorite celebrity chef.
No, she hates her.
Oh,
But not as much as Bobby Flay, I don't think. But she
She's
shows
up
up and
there.
she's got a big fucking head.
yeah.
And she's like there with Randy. My favorite Randy episode is actually the Blockbuster one.
Yes, that's
The Shining knockoff.
Nightmare on FaceTime. It's a Halloween episode.
Oh,
Great
Where he
episode.
like owns and no one comes
So
to
he,
shop
he
there.
ends up spending their life savings on
and
buying
it's like
Blockbuster.
The Shining.
yeah.
But, he's just like,
That's kind of cool.
But, and meanwhile, like they're on their way to Blockbuster and they're all watching stuff on Netflix on their phone.
Yeah. We can watch that during Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like-
That's your pick.
That's my pick. Nah.
We do this thing during the Halloween times where everyone gets to choose one movie. So like there's 4 weeks in October.
Mhm.
So producer Brandy gets to choose a movie. Zaccardo chooses a movie. I choose a movie.
Yeah.
Once a week you get to do a movie. So he just chose a 30-minute episode.
Probably 20 with no ads. No, that's a teaser. It's a warm up.
Yeah.
It's a warm up.
What's your palate?
What's your pal? What's your pal?
What do you think of the Casa Bonita episode?
I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't mention that.
Mhm.
Did
And
you
is-
see the news on that?
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Is that they ended up buying the rights to Casa Bonita and they built a new Casa Bonita in Colorado.
Oh,
And it's
Trey
just
Parker and
about-
Matt Stone did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or what about? Yeah, they did. That's great. Congratulations on their success in buying restaurants. I think another thing we didn't mention was the Game of Thrones episodes.
Yes, so
The
that's
Red Robin or whatever it was.
it's
the
I
Red
guess
Robin wedding or
the Red Wedding. Yeah, so there's a couple Lord of the Rings style episodes.
that's Game of Thrones, by the way.
I'm sorry.
The Red Robin's Game
No,
of
no,
Thrones.
I know. So what happens is
Okay,
they
I
end up
was like-
wearing they wear the same.
I'm not trying to piss off a lot of
outfits.
people out there.
Yeah.
Tell me confusing Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. I'm like,
it's
what the
funny
fuck?
'cause I was actually talking to Carly about this too. Is that I the chronological episodes, that series when the Red Wedding and
Yeah.
the Red Robin, that's one of my favorite chronological episodes.
Oh,
Like
you
series,
cracked his
I guess.
85.
The Black Friday.
Yeah, Black
It's
Friday.
coming
Oh,
up.
that is the
And like that's another one where Randy's
He
like
pulls off
he's
the
a
scar.
he's the mall security guy and he's like, you gotta get ready for
because
this.
Randy comes up with the most genius plan to
Yeah.
be the mall security officer on Black Friday,
So you
he
can
gets
get in
the
and
mall
get the
first.
deals. Yeah.
that is genius.
It's pretty genius.
But the boys all dress up the same as
Yeah.
they do in the Lord of the Rings episode, which
Okay.
is funny. I never watched Lord of the Rings until after I saw the Lord of the Rings episode of South Park.
That was like man, was that PS3? Because
What's
that was the whole point, right? One was Sony, one was Microsoft.
Yes, they were
one
going
was
over
Xbox,
Xbox or not.
one was
and
PlayStation. That was the
Mhm.
factions. Of,
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
The houses fighting.
Yep.
And then like Kenny was like the princess.
Yep, because they didn't want Kenny. Cartman didn't want Kenny to be a princess, and he's like, "I am going to be a princess." So they ended up splitting factions, and they end up fighting on Black Friday.
The Red Robin.
Yep, they betraying in the garden and all that. That's we
That's
all want
pretty good.
Xboxes.
It's a pretty good episode.
It's a pretty good episode, actually.
Pretty good
Think
episode.
about that, yeah.
All right.
Well, the first one where they're all dressed up, the Lord of the Rings episode.
Yeah,
That's the where they accidentally have the porno tape and they have to return it to the movie store. And Butters ends up watching the porno and thinking that's
Nice.
Lord of the Rings. They're like, yeah,
Oh,
do you
yeah,
mind if I
yeah,
play
yeah.
Lord of the Rings? And he starts humping him.
Yes.
He starts humping Kyle.
I remember,
Do you remember the porno name? Do you remember what the
Yes.
name is?
I remember. No, I don't remember.
So it was Backdoor Sluts 9.
oh,
in the
yeah.
episode.
Oh, because there's that fame. Yeah. Like it's not as good as Backdoor Sluts
8 or something.
8. Yeah.
You mentioned episode Raisins.
Oh yeah. That's a
Great.
great
Yeah.
episode.
Great episode.
Let's
Is
do
that-
another. Let's do another.
Is that also the goth, like where the goth kid's the one he talks to at the end where he's like depressed and they're like, "Oh,"
Probably.
and he's like,
No,
feel
so
like anyone-
that's when Stan and Wendy break up.
so it was Stan that talked
Yeah.
to the goth kids,
Yes.
not Butters. For some reason,
Because
I'm
Butters
There's,
does, Butters does come up to Stan and say, it's quit
There's
being
the
a little
mascot.
bitch.
There's always the mascot, like, giant douche and
douche and a
turd sandwich.
yeah.
Which
But-
that's where like the more satirical stuff kind of kicks in. Like, you know,
Yeah.
hey, if you're going to vote, you're going to be voting for two shitty people anyway.
So let's do another character.
Okay.
Billy's favorite episode of character.
Okay.
If you're down.
Sure.
I'm thinking. What about Jimbo?
Oh.
Jimbo is actually an early season, and I
Damn.
remember talking about
Quick.
this. It's a long one. It's season 2, episode 6, The Mexican Staring Frog of Southern Sri Lanka. And that's
Sri Lanka. Where's that?
I don't know.
Sri Lanka.
But they end up going hunting, and
It's pronounced Sri Lanka, Bryce.
is it Sri Lanka? I don't know.
A lot of things, more things to worry about than Sri Lanka.
Oh, I thought the name was a reference to Siri.
Oh, it could be actually.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
How's it spelled?
SRI.
Oh, then Sri. It was supposed to be Sri Lanka.
Sorry, my
Yeah, no,
apologies.
you're good.
We gave you some.
But in that
benefit there.
episode, that's where they go hunting with Jimbo,
Yeah.
and
Was that the one where they're like peeping?
no,
the
not
the
that
Jimbo
one.
episode I'm thinking of is like him like peeping with the is Jimbo's the bigger one.
Yeah, with Ned.
With
Ned is the
Ned's one,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's actually funny. He's like, "Wait, let me see." Oh man, look, she got the puppies out.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Jimbo
Let me
is
see.
Kyle's uncle or something?
I'm sorry.
Is he Kyle's uncle?
Stan's Uncle Jimbo.
Stan's uncle.
Yeah.
Stan's uncle.
Randy's
Classic.
brother?
I think
Or
it's Sharon's brother.
Sharon.
Classic.
But
Let's talk about some more Randy episodes.
Yeah, Randy's got some solid episodes.
Yeah.
so we talked about the losing edge, the baseball one.
Yeah. That's a great episode.
I'm Bat Dad.
Bat.
Dad.
I'm Batman.
We got another one.
This is America.
I didn't hear no
They're trying to
bell.
lose. We don't want to play anymore.
Oh well, how about we were kind of talking about some secondary characters that we're not,
Sure.
very
Sure,
happy with.
sure.
So like Carly, she doesn't like Mr. Hanky. What do we
I
thought
agree.
about Mr. Hanky.
I agree.
Yeah, I think he's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the toilet humor to me.
Yeah. Speaking of toilet, though, what was the one? Was it Craig's mom that fell in the toilet and
Yes,
died?
that's a great episode too.
Because the lead
So
was
she-
because the seat was
because-
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I told you to keep the seat down, and now he has to watch his mom die because he didn't put. And,
Yeah.
The blood is now on his penis because of it.
But yeah, Mr. Hanky's kind of lame. But I actually like him better than like Tally.
You like him better
You like
than
him
Tal.
better than Tally.
I hate
that's,
Tally.
That's a good take. That's an interesting take because I love Tally.
Why?
I just think he's a good secondary character.
He just. I guess I just don't like.
Did you ever see
I don't
him
like
really-
stoner humor, man. All right, everyone. So that was the first half of the South Park episode with Billington, Weston Zane. I can't. What did you say, Chris? It was Billy. Oh, baby Billy.
Baby Billington.
Baby Billington.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed doing this episode with Billy. I think you're going to see in the next episode how much more we get into like the nitty gritty.
South Park couldn't be contained to one episode.
I mean, you couldn't see it better. All right, guys. So thanks for listening again. We'll catch you next week.